What a true honor it is to stand up here and tell you just how amazing our God is. All glory be to God. I want to thank my family. My wife and kids are in the back. My family in Alabama. Mary Jemison and family for all of the support they give to my family through a difficult time. Without all of them, none of this would be possible. On October 5th, first night of Fight Club, I can't remember exactly, but I believe my son wheeled me into the big group meeting in the back in a wheelchair. Now I'm about to show you just how amazing our God is and the mountains that he moved to get me to that big group on October 5th. God's word said he works all things out for the good. Let's see what he does. About 2 months before, I was involved in a horrible car accident that almost cost me my life. I was airlifted to Lafayette. I think I was in an induced coma for about 3 or 4 days. I suffered multiple fractured ribs, collapsed both lungs, broke both ankles, broke my hip, and broke my pelvis. And the answer is yes, it hurt. It was only a miracle. It was only a miracle from God that I survived. Now, up until that day, I had lived a life completely full of sin, a life without a relationship with God, no foundation built upon God's word. One might say a rather empty life, a life that led me exactly to where I lay in this bed in intensive care in Lafayette General. Now, God didn't cause the wreck, but he didn't let me die. Blaine Walton, with God guiding his hands, literally screwed my body back together. I think I went through 5 or 6 surgeries in 2 weeks and was sent home. An ambulance drove me from Lafayette to my trailer here in Lake Charles and literally carried me up the steps into the house in a chair. And when that door shut, life hit me. They always say it's not the fall you feel, but it's when you hit bottom is when it really hurts. So now I'm here, angry, physically and emotionally broken. What am I going to do? The devil, I felt like the devil was literally just sitting on my chest. Watch what God does. We had just got my daughter into God, what's it called? In the daycare. Let's just say daycare. Got her in daycare. And my wife had been looking for a job. She had applied for 3 or 4 jobs, and here God is providing. She gets a phone call within a week of my release, lands a federal translator job with Calcasieu Parish School Board. A blessing to say the least. An office full of God-fearing women. My wife works this first week. Sunday rolls around, knowing that each day passing, the weight of the world gets heavier and heavier on my shoulders. God sends my wife to this church and gives her the courage to ask around if there was anyone that could help her the next week, carry me down the steps in my wheelchair and get me to church. Almost like the courage he gives her to ask for an extra discount when something is on clearance at every store that we go to. Now that's some courage. I can't even look the cashier in the eye when she does it. Try it sometime, I bet you won't. Okay, so she sits through a service and an old man stops her before she gets in the vehicle and asks her for the address and says, "Hey, I want to come talk to your husband." So Monday comes, I get a knock on the door. He said, "Hey, we're here from First Baptist. This is my son, he's a GC. We're going to take some measurements and build you a wheelchair ramp." Excuse me. My heart exploded. What God did for me through these people and through this ramp was monumental. This ramp led me back to church, to a Beshalom session with Crossroads, and lastly to Fight Club on October 5th. Let's give God a round of applause for that. Here comes Fight Club. Man, that rice and bread was hard. As I start working through these assignments and fellowshipping with my group, I start to understand why I was sitting in this wheelchair. As I read these assigned verses each day, God started to show me that he let me make the decisions to get me exactly where I was sitting so that I could physically no longer run from all the things that have held me captive for so many years. The world cannot heal one soul. I've tried everything. Drugs, alcohol, partying. You just can't do it. A hole in one soul can only be filled by the love that God has for us. At some point, maybe 2 weeks into the challenge, I just gave him everything. Full command over my life. Finances, my wife's finances, all. That was easy. What a game-changing decision. God has shown me that this is a pivotal time of growth for me and everyone around me. This challenge has allowed me to understand the true meaning of love, friendship, fellowship, a real relationship with God, truly find the real me with Christ as my armor. He has restored all things healthy, all the relationships with my parents, my wife and kids, and I can truly see him in every event that happened in my life. To my brothers in other boats, the support y'all have given me has been monumental in this transformation, truly heaven sent. Thank God, thank Fight Club, thank you.
What an amazing story. What was it, a few weeks ago that he just walked into Fight Club? How incredible is that? Just an unbelievable story. The next group that we are going to recognize are the Bad News Bears. Bad News Bears. You can about imagine who leads this group. My guy, Andrew Guillot. This is really great to see Andrew step up into this leadership role. It's been awesome to watch. And so would you help me welcome Andrew Guillot?